Having trouble trying to sleep. I'm counting sheep but running out. As time ticks by, still I try. No rest for cross-tops in my mind. On my own, here we go. My eyes feel like they're gonna bleed. Right up and bulging out my skull. My mouth is dry. My face is numb. Fucked up and spun out in my room. On my own, here we go. Mind is set on overdrive. The clock is laughing in my face. Crooked spine. My senses dull. That's the point of delirium. On my own, here we go. My eyes feel like they're gonna bleed. Right up and bulging out my skull. My mouth is dry. Face is numb. Fucked up and spun out in my room. On my own, here we go.
Hello, this is Nagoji here. Welcome to another Godzilla Month video, and today we'll talk about the big G, the big, and we're explaining why the Heisei Godzilla is my favorite Godzilla. You might be wondering, why is he my favorite Godzilla? Even though it's clearly stated that I said in the past that Final Wars, well, at least for now, that Final Wars, Godzilla Final Wars is my favorite movie. So you might be wondering, wait, why isn't Final Goji your favorite Godzilla? Well, things have changed. The reason why I say the Heisei Godzilla is my favorite Godzilla because when you think of Heisei Godzilla, what's the first thing that pops up to mind? You think you think of that iconic look, stays consistent, that the entire design, that the entire Heisei era, like that design is so iconic. I can't. It's the most iconic design. It's my. And I know many people are gonna say, "But isn't Final Goji your favorite?" It was my favorite until. Actually, I don't even know the reason why it changed. I can't remember. To be honest, the Heisei Godzilla is probably the most iconic, especially the '93 design. I think that one's probably my favorite out of the Heisei era, mostly due to me watching the heck out of Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2. Because funny enough, I remember if we ever go on road trips, I would bring that movie like everywhere. That was my most watched Godzilla movie when I was a kid. Probably my most watched Heisei Godzilla movie. Period. That's probably I've watched that movie so many times. I think that's probably my most rewatched Heisei movie, to be honest. Probably is. It probably really is my most rewatched Heisei film. You know, if I'm being honest, it's I just love that movie. I love that movie to death. And I'd be wondering, but don't you hate Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah and Godzilla and Mothra Battle for Earth? I do. I still do. But I love the monster action. I don't mind the monster action in that film. It's just the human characters are boring and the plots don't work. That's it's not the monster action. That's the problem. It's the human plots, the story, and the human characters that I'm not a big fan of in those films. And Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, it's a actually do actually I kind of grew a soft spot for Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, mostly because of how bad Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. Like, yes, that's how you do a space monster, not whatever Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah was trying to be like a freaking dragon, three Dorats. That's how you do a space monster, and that's how you do an overpowered character. And yes, I know Space Godzilla is not original. And it's kind of a joke that Space Godzilla doesn't really have an original name. It's just basically a clone of Godzilla. But I don't care. He's the most overpowered Godzilla villain. He is so overpowered, and yeah. But let's get back on topic. Heisei Godzilla, I love the design. It's so iconic. Like, let's take a look at each design throughout the Heisei era. In 1984, he looks similar to the show era design because I think the reason why he looks similar to the show era design, mostly the 74 to 75 suit, is because the general audience was so used to that design. So that's probably the main reason why it looks similar to the show, to the 74 to 75 Godzilla suit. This way it looks similar to the design, mostly just the head sculpt looks similar. And maybe the dorsal plates look a little bit similar, but I can see some of the similarities. Mostly the 74 design is where it looks similar to, but it's a lot bigger, and the dorsal plates are a little bit different because uh, they're a little bit down. They're a little bit all. I think this is like the first Godzilla to have dorsal plates start upwards and then go all the way down on his back. Like they're not like every Godzilla before dorsal plates. They're mostly with the main dorsal plates mostly on the back of his on the back. And yeah, it's not a traditional Godzilla, but when it comes to dorsal plates, but whatever. And then the Heisei era, and then Godzilla vs. Biollante, that is when it becomes iconic. I love it. Oh yeah, I Godzilla vs. Biollante, Biogoji. design over there. And yeah, the Bio Goji and Gido Goji suits, pure perfection. Pure perfection when it comes to Godzilla. They are the greatest designs, his best designs that he has ever had. Especially the Bio Goji suit, because I love that Bio Goji suit. I think that the only nitpick I have with that suit is mostly his size in that movie. I know it's a minor nitpick, but I wish he was a little bit bigger. I don't know. Mostly because he was in a volcano. Wouldn't you expect him to go like inside when he's in a volcano? I know it didn't have like any radiation or anything, but wouldn't you expect him to go a little, like an extra 20 meters if he's in a volcano? Like maybe he absorbed the magma and he grown an extra 20 meters, but yeah, yeah, whatever. And the Gita Goji suits, another perfect design. It's basically the same as the Bio Goji, just with different arrangements in the dorsal plates. It's the same design, just sized up. Just little tweaks with the design, and maybe the head sculpt is a little bit different from the Bio Goji because I don't know. They're basically the same design, just different tweaks here and there. And then the most, I believe, Batogoji is the name of the design. I believe that's the name of the design, Batogoji, the one from Godzilla and Godzilla vs. Mothra Battle for Earth. That design is probably my least favorite in the Heisei era. It has nothing to do with the actual body of the design. It's just the dorsal plates just look off on the design when you compare it to the rest of the body. I don't know. Maybe it's just that. It's just the dorsal plates that throw me off on the design. Yeah, it just. I'm not a big fan of that particular design. Yeah, just not a big fan of the Batogoji design. But the next design is where it reaches its peak. The next three designs is where it's peak to the max, where he is the most iconic. And I know many people are saying, but isn't Bio Goji and Gido Goji better? No. The Vando Goji, Mogul Goji, and Burning Godzilla, those are him at his peak, and when he is his, that is the most iconic designs in the Heisei era. Those are my three favorite designs. If I had to choose which one I like more between the Heisei era, it will probably be like which ones are my favorite in the Heisei era from least to favorite. Probably Burning Godzilla will probably be number two. Number one would obviously be Rando Goji. Number two would probably be Burning Godzilla. Number three will probably be Mogul Goji. Number four will probably be the Bio Gojis / Skigo Goji suits. Number five would sadly be 84 Goji. Sorry, Goji fan. Don't get mad at me. I'm sorry. And then number six, my least favorite design is probably the Bata Goji suit. That's probably how I rate the designs of the Heisei era, even though technically the Mogul Goji and Deso Goji of the same suit just change the dorsal plates a little bit and added spots onto the bird, changed the eyes and added spots onto the suit to make it look like he's exploding from the inside. Then he also had a light into his chest. But yeah, I love the Heisei Godzilla. He is his most iconic. I just love the Heisei Godzilla. Sorry, Final Goji. Sorry. You're no longer my favorite. Hmm. Even though, funny enough, I did kind of react like a while ago saying, Final Goji, no! I remember that reaction like a while ago, and it's like, and now I'm just like, well, I still love Final Goji. Don't get me wrong, he's my favorite. He's still I still I love him due to the nostalgia of watching Final Goji. And fun fact, my mom was actually there during the premiere in Hollywood on November 29th when nobody, which if you knew, not that many people saw Final Godzilla Final Wars, but my mom was there. She was there during the premiere. I am so jealous. Damn it, I was born too early. I was born too goddamn early. I wish I was born in 1989. I wish it was a twin. I wish it was Mrs. Schwinn. Damn it, I was born too goddamn early. God damn it. I was born too goddamn early. I wish I was like 5 so I can be able to see that movie. I wish I was like 5 years old. God dang it. God dang it. Born too early. Why? With that said, Heisei Godzilla, the most iconic design, his best design, the best that Godzilla's ever been. No Godzilla design will ever top that Heisei era. Heisei Godzilla is peak. But with that said, this is already sent off. And remember, stay big, G fans. See you in the next one. Bye bye.